Hi creatives! Today I'm very excited to chat with the wonderful surface pattern designer Hana, and she creates something incredible, and she combines actually technology and her vision of surface pattern design. And I think it will be a very interesting conversation on how artificial intelligence can assist surface designers, how to balance creativity with the use of the technology, and the future of artificial intelligence in the surface design industry. I'm sure we will learn a lot of interesting tips and highlights on how to use AI in surface pattern design and in art in general. And if you don't want to miss any of these life hacks and tips, you're welcome to subscribe to the newsletter, and then you will get all the main highlights of this live into your inbox. And I'm waiting for Hana to join us and to talk with her about all these amazing things of how to work with artificial intelligence and how to use it in your art. Hana, if you're online, please send me a request.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, no.
So thank you very much for joining us. I'm really very happy to see you because your work is amazing. It's so beautiful. All
Thank
your reels, all and I really, when I found your account, I was just wow, it's so beautiful.
your
But
your work too. I'm a big fan of yours.
oh,
Love
thank
to
you,
follow you.
thank,
Yeah.
thank you so much, thank you. But let's start from the beginning. I think that your first steps in art were not connected with AE, right?
No.
Can you share? Yeah, can you share a little bit with me and with people who are watching us, starting from the maybe the childhood? I mean, when you started to draw, or do you have you're self-taught artist, or do you have any education on that? A little bit of
My,
background as an artist.
yes. I always loved crafting and making things with my hands. I always loved to draw and to sew, and I always loved making embroidery and cross stitch, all that, because I grew up with my surrounded by my grandmother, my great grandmother, and they were always doing those things. They had this ability, and I loved all that, and I always tried all that. And when I went to college, I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a
Ah,
musician, yes. But I had never studied music. So, and I used to make my own clothes. I used to make like my bags and purses and accessories for me. I used to make um I was a little bit involved with fashion, and so I decided to go to fashion school to
mhm.
study fashion design. And in fashion design is where I found out, and I discovered this world of surface design. And I rescued this love that I had for drawing. And I thought, oh, I can draw. That's something that I like. And I can also do that in fashion because I can draw patterns.
Yeah.
And that's when it started. And I never worked for a brand. I always had my own um, business, and I worked for a year and a half, something like that, in after school, after college, in a small atelier. How do you call it? A small store, a small business,
Studio,
and
maybe.
yeah, studio. They there. I used to do a lot of things. I used to draw accessories and surf in patterns, and also I used to make the drawings for the embroideries for the pillows. And it was accessories for us, for women, and accessories for the house. And I was there for like a year and a half, and then I started my own business. It was 2009, and I made my own accessories, and I worked a lot with bags and purses, textile purses. At first, it was not with my own patterns because it was very hard at that time to print it and to do like I didn't have this I big structure, so I had to do like five accessories, five products, 10 products. So I could not like print a lot of fabric, and so it started more like that. And then I was getting to know some places to make my prints, and then I started my own collection with my own prints. And in 2016, I went to study surface design, because before that I had learned to make patterns in one class that I had in college and in YouTube. YouTube teach me a lot of things, and then I go to masters. I went to get my masters in surface design in 2016. In yes, 2016, and I continue working with that until the pandemic. When we went to pandemic, we could not have the fairs, the places to sell our products.
Mm.
So I started selling. I had this idea to start selling my prints to other studios and to other brands, and it grew a lot, and it was a success.
But
And I
how
was
did, sorry, but how did you do this? How did you sell them? Did you write
I
emails or made a website or
I
through
was only
Instagram?
on Instagram. Instagram. I went to Instagram and started selling on Pattern Bank.
Hmm.
And then I was, do you know Pattern Bank?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I started selling on Pattern Bank, and it was so well. It was going so well that I started um, teaching other designers how to sell on Pattern Bank, and that's uh, I grew a lot in the middle of the design community, helping other designers to sell their patterns, because I was selling my patterns on Instagram because a lot of brands and people were coming to me. I focus on the small brands, not the big ones, because the big ones already have their designers and all that working in there inside the brand. So I focus on the small brands that don't know where we are. We the surface designers, they don't know where we are. And I was like showing my work and posting a lot of my work, and so it started growing a lot
Instagram, your
on
account on
Instagram.
Instagram. Hmm.
Yeah. And it started growing in the community with clients, and I had a lot of clients and work, and I was working a lot. And I was growing also in the design community. Other designers were following me, and I made this product that is a brush, a digital brush, because I am 100% digital. I work with Procreate and Photoshop, and I made this embroidery brush,
Yeah, I saw
and
it.
it was a big success. Everybody wanted. And where did you buy it? Where did you buy it? And at first, I was not thinking of selling it. I was even a little bit, oh, it's mine. I don't want to sell it. But then I was like, okay, I will sell it. Let's see what it's. And it's today. It's a big product that I have a lot of, and I'm always making new brushes, and I love to make brushes. And so I had this community, a lot of people following me and looking at me, my work, and respecting me in what I was talking. And they were always coming to me to ask questions and to help them. And when artificial intelligence started, we started seeing a lot of things coming, and posts and images and in music, in a lot of things. And a lot of designers came. They started coming to me to ask me what I thought about that. Hana, what do you think about that? Because the artificial intelligence will steal our jobs. We won't have work anymore because they work for us and all that. And I was not looking for it. I was really not interested because I was working so much. And I was not, oh my God, okay, but I have so much work. That's not bad for me because it's not stealing my work, not right now. I have a lot of work. But after I see these images from a brand called La Casita de Wendy, they are also a surface design studio, and they have clothing, and they made this coats like knitting coats with flowers.
Coats.
Yes, and it was with artificial intelligence, and then they made it for real. They really did the codes, and that's when I think the I loved the colors and the way they made it, and it was really talking to me because it was something that I liked. It was like my work with flowers and embroidery and all that, and I was looking, and I was, oh my God, I like that. I want to create something like that. And that's when I started to try to understand how artificial intelligence worked, what it was, because I had no idea how to work with this. I'm not. My all my drawings are digital, but I'm not really a very technological person.
But you
And
create the brushes. It means that you really
yes, yes,
understand how it
I
works.
know. I know. I think I know how to work with what I have to work, and if I have to work with AI, well, let's learn it. I'm a easy person to learn things. I like to learn things.
Do you
So
remember when exactly was it? What is it? Was it a year and a half ago or more?
it was
Do you remember?
2023 in May last year
Mm-hmm.
when I started trying it out. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
funny story because when I paid for the Mid Journey plan, I did it wrong because I wanted 1 month and I paid for $8 for a month. But for some reason, I paid for a year. And then I had to use my credit card, and it wasn't working because I had this bill that I had paid for this, and I was like, oh my God, how do I delete this? And I couldn't get in touch with them. So I had this whole year to use Midjourney, and I was like, okay, let's do that. And I think that's also what helped me to really understand the tool, because at the beginning it was really hard. I was not getting good results. I was very frustrated. I was like, oh, this is not nice, these images that I'm creating. It's not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Because people think that you just type
Yeah,
some words.
like this.
Yes, and it's all beautiful there. And oh my God, I imagine that and I have that with some typing some
Mhm.
words, but it's not.
You have to teach
It's,
it what you want.
yes,
Yeah.
and you have to I had to figure it out because I didn't have a course or someone to teach me, because we don't have yet a course with about AI that is totally focused on fashion and surface design. So to get images that are really great in in that in that uh, content of fashion and fabrics and textiles. It was I was teaching alone. I was trying to make it. I was trying to figure it out, the prompts that I had to use and everything. And all of a sudden, I had this prompt that I made that came with an amazing image with the colors I wanted. Because even when you tell the colors you want, it doesn't not always come with the right tones that you
Mhm.
want. Not the right amount of pink that you want, the green, it's not the right tone. But when it came out with an image that was really what I wanted, I stuck in that image, and I still use the same prompt for all my work, because it has a this identity. this visual identity that I always replicate. I try to replicate to maintain in my work, and that's how it started.
Yeah, that's it. Very interesting. And I suppose it was a big switch between, and the difference between what you did before using AI, your pattern designs, which were
Yeah.
drawn in Procreate and in Photoshop, right? And then you start to use AI. But can it make a repeated seamless pattern like an Adobe Illustrator, or anyway you have to adjust? Or do you use it only for beautiful fashion pictures?
Yes, I still don't. I have not yet have made a pattern for a client with AI. I even starting the first one right now because we can create the tiles in repeat, but they're not good enough. They don't have a good distribution of the elements. The repeat is too obvious. It's not something that I would sell or I would print or I would really work. But as the tool is going, is always evolving. It's getting better. So right now, a good use for it that I see is create an element. We can create a single element, and then we can cut it, and then we can make our print with all these elements that we had created with AI. And the amazing, I use it for embroidery mostly, and that's a lot of my identity with my work. You can see that it has a lot of embroidery, because for me, I know I can draw, but I cannot really make an embroidery because I would need a machine for that, or I would need a lot of time, soon and
Yeah.
everything. Yes, so I think it's pretty amazing that I can create embroidery, all made with embroideries pattern, with embroideries that elements that are so realistic. I could not make that with the brushes. It gets realistic, but it's different, a different look. I also love. I still do it. I love my brushes. I use a lot, and because I still make the patterns with the brushes and drawing. And for me, it is a good way in the future, or even right now, that the tool is getting even better each day, to make the elements. Even if it's not embroidery, you can make it like it's um, pastels or paint or watercolor. You can do it, and you can train the artificial intelligence to make the drawings like yours.
So
I
you,
use
I'm sorry.
Yes,
So, as I understand, you create elements, separate single elements of flowers, and you can create really very realistic embroidery elements, and then you copy it in Photoshop or Procreate, combine, place,
yes,
and add layers, and create a beautiful seamless pattern, a tile that
yes,
you can sell. It's one way of using the AI. And what about this amazing like a fashion, stylish pictures with people and some magical clothes full of patterns and a very, very beautiful color palette. Do you use it only as a content on Instagram, or do you sell it? I saw a magazine in your feed with with these pictures. How do
yes.
you use this type of content?
No, I am not even selling the prints, and people ask me a lot for the prints to hang on the wall,
Yes,
and
yes.
I'm like, oh my god, I didn't organize my life yet to do that, because a lot of things happening after I started posting these images, and for me, it's still like I am figuring out what I'm going to do with that, because I have a lot of people wanting to asking about it and wanting to buy the prints, and other wanting to work with me, brands wanting to work with me, but they don't even really know how, but they want to do something. And for me, it's so fun because I love clothes. I love clothes. I love to dress up, and I wish I could do all that. That's I think for me that images and that clothing and that styles are the styles that I wanted to see at the mall or at the brands, and I wanted to buy. So I make those like they are like dreamscapes. They're like, I wish I had this. And I am hoping, and the plan is that brands come to me and say, well, let's make that. It happened once. I had this work with Missing Clothes, that is a brand that we have here in Brazil. They have one store in São Paulo, and we made the coats. I designed them with AI, and we really did like it was 3 coats that we did, all hand embroidered. It was beautiful. Because a lot of people come to me and say, oh, that's not real embroidered. And I say, yes, but it's not something that you can wear also. It's an image. So we didn't have to, we didn't get the work from anyone, you know, because a lot of people say, oh, what's going to happen with the people that make the real thing? And I say, well, this image, maybe if a brand comes to me and say, let's do it, we'll have to hire people to do it. It's not me that I'm not going to do that. Someone that knows how to do that will do that. And that's the time that we really did it, and it was very amazing to see the real thing physically. And that's something that I want to make more, to happen more. But I think that brands are still trying to understand how they're going to work with that.
Mhm. Was this coat like a couture? Was it handmade
Yeah,
embroidery? Because
yes.
yeah, I think it took so much time and effort to
And
create
they sell it on the website. Only you have to order, and they will make it.
on demand, right?
It's not available now. You have to order, and they make it. It's like 20 or 30 days to be ready to send to you.
Yeah, I saw your designs. They're gorgeous, but it obviously takes a lot of time, many days to embroider everything. Um, yeah, it's really actually incredible how brilliant it looks and how much time. You said that that you were struggling in the beginning when you're trying
Yes.
to learn how to communicate with AI and how to use it. Do you remember maybe how many months it took you to feel more or less comfortable with using Midjourney, and how long does it take you now to create another beautiful picture?
I think it took me like 3 months, just
Mhm.
2 or 3 months to start getting results that I was like, I like this. It's really cool. Because I had all these running hours to work, and I really did work a lot. It's kind of I get vicious in it. How do you say that? I couldn't get enough from it. I was
Ah,
there
you were
creating.
addicted.
Yeah, that's the word. Because when it started getting good, the images, when they started to look amazing, and I started liking it, each time I created was amazing, and each time was like I was, oh my god, and I couldn't. I'm saying that because I did not work like a normal person. I think I spent many hours in the front of the computer doing that, and I still do, and I have to work with that. And in my free time, I'm on my journey making images because it's so amazing. And I think it was like 3 months that I get to have the good images. But when Farm Rio, do you know Farm Rio? They come out to me. It's a big brand in Brazil, and they came out to me and they say, we want to work with you. We want some imaginary concept of this campaign that we are going to do. It's called Dreamscape, and and it's a big brand in Brazil that right now they are in other places. They're in New York, they are in Paris, London. They had Beyonce using them right now, so they are very big. And for all, and they have this printing identity very strong. And for every surface designer, it's a dream to work there. So when they come out to me and said, we want to work with you, I was like, okay. And we want to do this and that. And I was like, but I don't really figured out the tool. I did not know how to do anything. I knew how to do what I was doing. You know, it's like, I'm doing amazing codes, but if you ask me to make a shoe, I don't know if I can do it. Because I didn't know how to prompt exactly. I knew how to prompt what I was prompting for, what I was building, and maybe to make like images that are more related with architecture. You have to have this information, you know, if you are a photographer or if you are architecture, or I think the baggage you have, the work you have done helps you a lot with artificial intelligence because you know what to write. And so I had that prompts that was, they were working, but they wanted to do something that it was on the mountains with snow, and they wanted this huge flowers, giant flowers, and it wasn't working. I was not getting to have the outfits that I had, the clothing, with the mountains, with the snow, with the flowers. So I learned a lot how to use the tool during this project, because I found out that I could use images inside to put inside it to make it learn. So I went to Photoshop and I made collages. So I made collages with the big flowers, with the mountains, with the snow, with the clothing, the models I already had. That result, they like it, but they wanted that to be at the mountains with giant flowers. So I went to Photoshop and I started making the collages, and then I went back to the tool, and that's when I started learning more and understanding that I could teach the AI with images that I had made before. So there's when I started really going after seeing YouTube videos and understanding and the prompts and everything. And I think right now, after a year working, a year and a half almost, I have much more control of what I create. At the start, it was just like not controlling it 100%. With AI, we can never control it 100% because something is always coming out in a way that you didn't ask, and that's the beauty of the thing, that I think that sometimes you have surprises, like when you're painting and you have a surprise, you make a mistake, and that's amazing. And with AI, it's the same thing. Sometimes it makes mistakes because it's a baby. AI is not yet a very intelligent tool. It's starting, it's being built. And even it has a documentary that I saw that they say that right now, at the first age of AI, is when it's going to make the most amazing works, because it's going to make a lot of mistakes. It's not totally understanding. And it's a process that you go building your identity. And right now, I think I had come to a strong identity visually with AI. It took me all this time, I think a year, to get here.
But now, when you have a new project, can you create it in a couple of days, or you need weeks?
Yes.
How much time does it take?
Depending on the project, I need at least 1 to 3 days, I think. Yes.
That's very fast.
But happens a lot that the client, it's not really what he wants, and so you have to go. It's like when we draw, it's not this that I want, and you have to try harder, because there are some things that I still don't do. As I said, that's some things that maybe I cannot do because it's a little far from my identity. And we know that we work with clients that sometimes they don't want what we are doing, they want something else. They want, oh, I know that you're working with AI and I want this. And I'm like, oh, I never done that. Let's try that. And sometimes if it has my identity, if the client wants something that it's really close to what I'm doing, it's faster to get to the result. But if he wants something totally different that goes far from the identity I have been building, it can take more time. Sometimes I cannot even do. It happened already that we could not get to the result, and so we could not do it.
I also saw some beautiful videos, not only photos, but videos created by you with AI. And did you started to create videos? What is the difference? Is it harder? How complicated
Hard.
is it that?
It's much harder because I still trying to understand how to write the right words. What words do I have to say? How the AI, because it's different the video from the images, and I think because of the tools are different too. So I don't use the same tool; it's another tool.
And
So
what is the name? So it's not Midjourney. What is that?
I use Runaway,
Runway?
and
Hmm.
I use Luma, Luma Lab, Luma
Hmm.
Lab, and Craya.
Oh,
Craya,
three.
Kriya. I wasn't satisfied with Kriya because it changes a lot of the image that you use. It changes to something else when it makes the videos. The best ones, o Gen 3, the Runway changes a lot also. When it gives a lot of motion, it totally makes your image into something else. So the characteristics of the colors and the models, they change a lot. So I am right now preferring the Luma Lab. They are 3 seconds or 4 seconds motion, once at a time. So you have to make it again and again and again. Always a short video of 4 seconds. And I don't prompt, I don't write anything. I just let it see how it's going to come out. I I put my images, the images that I want to mix, or you can also only use one image and it gives like a 3D effect, and how it moves to make some short video of 3 seconds good, that is good, that I like it. I have to make a lots of short videos because some of them really don't come out good.
So
So I am still experimenting with the videos. I'm not really good at it yet, but
yeah,
they are coming out pretty fun,
and
and I
we're
like it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will be with these experiments. You will be really very experienced in nearest month. I also wanted to ask you about your work with the agency. It's written that you are represented by the agency, and I'm sure that for many of the viewers or listeners who are watching us, they artists, they would be uh, can be curious about how to work with the agency. How is it organized? Do they find some clients for you, some brands? Can you share a little bit about this? And how did you find together each other? Uh,
Yes. I it happens both ways. They have, sure, they have bigger clients than I did. I have my clients, most of my clients are smaller brands, and they have bigger clients. And so when the clients come to me, they help me with them, with a contract and all that, because I didn't have a contract before. Not even had a contract. I was always like working on emails, and I had this PDF that I put the work I was going to do, how it costs, but a contract I never had. So I needed someone to help me in that way, because I think I'm a 99% an artist, and that part of the organization of the business for me is very hard. So they came to help me with that, so to make everything more clear, and so I can understand how my work, the value of my work also, because for us it's pretty hard for us to, for me it's pretty hard for me to put a price in my work. I always had this very, I don't know, it's a difficulty, because for me it was always a difficulty. But now I see that I have a lot of people wanting, and asking and want to work, and I'm like a little bit lost in it. So I needed this help. So they're helping me with that to get more organized. And yes, they have clients, and I also have clients, but we are always working together in that space.
And who communicates with clients when these
Both,
are the clients, both of you? Okay.
yes. I always talk for the first time. I always when the clients come to me, I always talk to them and I send an email and we talk a little bit. I try to understand what he wants, and then we the agency comes together so we can understand together and make this project more complete, because the agency has a lot other professionals that can come together to make a video or to make a 3D project. So we work together, all complementing the project.
Mhm. And how much now do you work with agency and by your own in percentage? What would you say?
Right now, it's always with the agents and the clients. Commercial works, I work with them. Right now, I have projects of like selling prints and stuff like that. It's more artistic, like a show with my images, and that's something that I do alone. So, but when it's a commercial project, it's always with them.
Mhm. There's a question in the comments. How can we get in touch with agency to work hand in hand with it? Can you give any tips how to find an agency, how to get in touch with it?
Well, in my case, I had an artist. I know an artist that I like a lot. I'm a big fan of him. I don't know if you heard of him. It's Inserti, and he has this amazing work, and he had this agents. This agency was working with him, and so I went to follow the profile, and I followed the people that work there, but it was like a long time ago, before I was working with AI.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, and then right, it was 3 months ago or four that we were working together, because they got into they went after me. They came talk to me because of the work I was doing with AI. And I think how it happened is that someone there told them about my work, and so they contacted me to talk and to work together, and say yes. I wanted already to have somebody helping me with that. So it was that's how it happened. But I think if you go to everything I do, everybody I know today in this workspace came from Instagram, because before I was at Instagram, it was all very hard for me because I'm not a real um, person that is, meeting people, knowing people, talking, and have this networking. I'm not. I'm more like an artist that work alone in the studio, and I'm always there. And so on Instagram, I started doing this, getting in touch with people and following the professionals and agents and other artists, and always try to interact, really talk, and get in touch and talk about our work and all that. So for me, it's how I can get to in touch with them, going after them and sending a message and trying to understand how it works and showing your work. Showing the work is very important, because I could only sell my first piece of work of art when I started posting it, because before that nobody knew me at all. So I think that if you work with art, Instagram today is a great place to sell your art. I don't even know how to manage the other that other platform that is LinkedIn. I don't even know. I always get lost in there. So for
Me too.
I didn't even have a portfolio for like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
For me, every time someone asked me for my portfolio, I was like, you can go to my Instagram and you see what I do. But I know how important it is to have one, but I didn't have. I was always working too hard on Instagram, because we that know that work with
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, you know that a lot of work to make content,
Yeah,
to make the videos, and then to post the videos, to edit the videos, to talk and to work, because our work is not here. Our work is making art.
yeah. There's a question also in the comments. Any tips to make your community bigger? I think it's about Instagram community, right? What
To
tips
what?
to how to grow Instagram? What are your main tips that help you to make
Yeah.
bigger your
What I
Instagram?
what I did is that I was first, I was following a lot of other studios to understand what they did. Bigger studios, because I started on Instagram in 2021 with 800 followers. And what I started doing was following other studios to understand what they were doing, the big ones. Well, why are they big? What are they doing that I am not doing? So I started seeing the posts, the content, and everything like that. And I started to understand how I had to show my work. It was not only putting a design there. I had to apply this to a mockup. How do you say? Is mockup like
Mockup.
yes? Because I had these products that I made, but I didn't have good pictures of them. So bad pictures don't sell on Instagram. You need to have the most amazing, great pictures. You need to apply your designs on the product, so the clients can see how it's going to look like. It's not only because you put there an art and we ask, so okay, how I am going to use that, what is the size of that, how that's going to look in a dress, how that's going to look in the product. The client don't know, so he needs to see it, so he needs to apply this on a mock-up. And I think talk about what we do is important, so people can understand, show the process. At first I was talking about a lot about the process, because here in Brazil, I don't know how it's there, but here nobody knows and nobody really cares who draw this design that is on the clothes. It's like an artist that don't exist, because so I wanted to show that a person is doing that this is a work that you can do also if you like, if you want. And how does it happen? Because when I started in 2007, 2009, I could not get in touch with nothing. It was very hard. I didn't know where to print my fabrics. I didn't know where I had to, for who I had to send my
Mhm.
CV, to I want to be a surface designer. Where do I go? Who do I talk to? How does it happen? So I started talking a lot about it, the process, the how it happened, and how you can do, how you can print your design. And also in fashion, I think people like to, they don't they don't share a lot. I felt a lot of that people was not sharing the contacts they have, in the industry. And I started sharing that you can sell here, you can sell there, you can do this, you can print here. And so I think that showing the process, talking about what you do, talking about you, that's how it worked for me. And I also went a lot to LinkedIn, and I went in the brands, and I went to LinkedIn of the brands, and I saw the people there that they were important in the area of surface design at the brand. And I started following these people on Instagram, and I wanted people to see what I was doing, and the right people. So that's how I started interacting with them and teaching also the tips and everything for designers. So that's why I grew so much in the design community, not only in the with the brands that were hiring me.
Yeah, there's another question. Are you going to teach classes on how to assemble prints with artificial intelligence images?
That's a plan. Yeah, if I could do it, if it was easy for me to put together a course right now, I would totally do it. But it's so complicated. I think it's very hard for everything to happen, like to know what and and how I'm going to do that process, how I'm going to teach, where I'm going to start, where I'm going to go, how, what comes first. I need to understand that content that I'm going to give, and after that, I need to 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 to,
Pro-
to make a video of that.
Yeah,
So
to produce
yeah,
it.
that's hard. That's not easy.
Yeah,
And
that's
but
true.
I right now I'm doing I'm being mentored, just a mentor for someone that is helping me to make that.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
great news.
So it's going to happen. It just I have to do all at the same time. I have a kid and I work a lot and I'm making this, so it's not going to be so fast. But I hope that until the end of the year, start of the next year, we already have that course.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So nowadays, when you have these amazing AI pictures, videos, you have your own brushes to procreate. You have many patterns. I'm sure you're earning on license, right? Do you still use Pattern Bank as a platform to sell your patterns? Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And
I'm not putting something new there. I'm not.
but old one,
Yes. So
old
I'm
is.
selling a lot because I'm not. I don't have the time to make new things to put on Pattern Bank. But I am there. I have the studio also there too.
You also work with the agency. All these many projects in different directions. Can you share with us what is your main income from what direction? Do you get money from licensing your patterns or from workshops or from brushes or from these new projects with the big brands maybe? Just to understand how it works as for income for a surface pattern designer in your case.
Still getting my income mostly from the brushes. They're
Oh, wow.
good. Yes. Right now I'm not selling so good as I was a couple of months ago because I'm not having time to make the videos using them because this helps a lot to sell them. Every time I post a video using them. But right now I'm working a lot for clients for the agency. Clients that they bring to me and clients that come to me and so I bring to them and we working right now I'm working on 3 projects of surface design and one with artificial intelligence and the other one no I'm drawing the other one and if with the brushes because they wanted uh, the pattern made with my brushes and I have another one with creating images also with AI but um, they're not patterns they're something else to use in the website their website so right now I have these 3 clients working with so that's what I do. I have the incoming from the
Mhm.
brushes and from the clients. Yes, pattern bank, not much
Mhm.
because I'm not. What I have there like 4 years ago. I sent
Yeah,
so
so
it's I
it's
need
like a
to.
nice passive income for you.
I
And
sold the pattern last month. One.
okay, and do you create now? You mentioned that you make some patterns for the clients. Is it a collection of patterns? Is it a single pattern? Is it for textile or what kind of industry? Can you share, please?
I have I do all that. I do right now. This client I have, I'm making 3 patterns for a collection. 3 different patterns for a collection. The other I'm making the same. one pattern, but in different sizes, different applications we're doing. And I'm doing some illustrations for a client that is she works with packaging. She has a candle. She sells candles. She's all about the candles and objects for decoration, home decor. And I always make the identity of the collections. So this is a work that I do illustrations, and then she applies as she wants. It's not a repeated pattern. I do illustrations and she apply in the products. That's what I'm doing right now.
Thank you very much for sharing. And my last question, what advice would you give to someone who is just starting to work with artificial intelligence and who wants to incorporate maybe it into their designs and art? Where to start? What would you say to yourself when you just started?
First, try Midjourney because I really love the tool. I tried other tools, but it was frustrating, not as good as Midjourney. And a lot of people that I talk to, they always say that Midjourney comes out with the greatest results. Don't how do you say? Keep trying. Don't give up because it's really at first it's not easy to imagine something and to make what you imagine. Study a lot, to understand how it works and try the free videos and try some courses that we are having a lot of courses popping up right now, and I know they are not really about fashion and textiles and nothing like that, but they're very technical and they can help us to work with the tool. Don't be afraid because a lot of people I see they are very afraid because of this big discussion we have between about the tool that is we have a big fight there with a lot of artists against the tool and all that, but this is here, this is the future, it's not going back. It's like Napster. It's not going back. It's like happened to the music industry, it's like happened to internet. It's happening, and I think that right now if you know how to use it, you can have a lot of opportunities in the market. Yes, because it's happening to me. It's really happening to me because there are not a lot of people doing what I'm doing. So it's a great time to be a pioneer. To have your work being recognized by. Yes, I can offer also a work with AI. So this is amazing. So that's it. Try Midjourney and go try to study a lot. For here in Brazil, I always say you have to study English. Yes, because all the prompts are in English. So for us, it's a little bit more difficult if you don't know English. So if you don't know English, yes, you need to understand and learn a bit about English. I have this book. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Fashiopedia.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing because even I that studied fashion, I don't know all the names of the things like the colors and the names for the details in the clothing in English. I know in Portuguese, but in English I don't. So for me to prompt this book helped me a lot because it has all the names of everything. It has the names of the parts of the shoes and accessories and textiles, fabrics, all that. So it helps a lot when you had to prompt. And also Midjourney, for those who work with Midjourney, have a community that a lot of people share their images there and the prompts. So if you go there and look for something that is more about what you're trying to do, maybe you can find some prompts to get started, and that's how I think.
Mm-hmm. There's a question. Can you please repeat the name of the book and it's of the app? The application is Mid Journey, and the book is uh, fashion Fashionpedia, and who is the author of this
That's
book? Is
contrário, né? Fashionpedia and Mid Journey. I'll try to write.
okay. Thank you so much. But I think it's easy to find Midjourney on Google because it's super popular.
Yes, Mid Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
we use the Mid Journey on Discord, so you have to. You can use Mid Journey with in the website also. I installed the Discord. It's an app for the computer. You can put in the computer. You can download in the phone or iPad. I have in all the devices, and so you use Mid Journey in it. It's
Oh,
very easy.
wow. It's
Yes,
interesting.
the beginning is a little confusing, but it's not something. It's like a chatbot. You write and it gives you the images. It's yes.
Hannah, thank you so much. It was really super helpful, interesting, and I'm very curious about all the process. And it's so nice to know the story behind these pictures, and actually that you started to do this in the last May. So how much we can achieve if we put an effort, energy, and our curiosity into something new. I think it's a very inspiring story. Thank you so much for sharing with us all this, all the journey and tips.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, everybody. It
Thank
was great.
you.
I always love to share.
Thank you so much. Have a
Ah,
nice day. Oh, wow.
can I do it?
I don't
Okay.
know. I didn't know that you can do though. The future is here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.